Better Call Saul. Officially labeled as a prequel for the critically acclaimed Breaking Bad, the show follows our main character Saul Goodman, a funny, quick-witted lawyer. Only, we learn to know him as Jimmy McGill, with the name Saul Goodman being more of a persona. When they announced the spin-off, I had assumed it would be a comedy. But little did I know this comic relief character from Breaking Bad would become one of the most well-written, nuanced, and complicated characters I had ever seen. So how did they get there? What was the catalyst that propelled Saul into this stranger that defied so many expectations? It starts with this picture. You see, Better Call Saul also delves into the future of the character, depicted by scenes done completely in black and white. But there are two moments in the entire show where color is present in these scenes, and this is one of them. So how does the show use filmmaking techniques to elevate the meaning of the color and how it relates to Saul himself? Let's find out. I'm going to break this presentation down into 5 sections, each one discussing in further detail a specific filmmaking technique. The 5 topics at hand are color grading, cinematography, duality, vibrance, and show don't tell. I'll first provide a general overview of the topic, followed up by subtopics directly related to each technique. Then I'll provide examples to bring further context for how they enhance the show. Better Call Saul utilizes color grading to signify time and location. On a deeper level, it is also used to mirror Saul's mental state as the story progresses. So black and white is used to indicate scenes that come after the conclusion of Breaking Bad. Although Better Call Saul is a prequel at heart, these scenes show a glimpse into what Saul has become much further down the road. In contrast, a bluish color grading is indicative of scenes from the past. These flashbacks and memories also tie into the main story and plot, providing additional context to how things play out. An orange color grade appears when the location takes place in Mexico and is almost exclusively reserved for scenes involving the cartel. Now, normal color is used as the default for the story and scenes that take place in present time. But even this shifts over time. As Saul's story descends into darkness, the color tone shifts to match it. And although the color grading in the show can appear simple, the subtle shift of color and lighting offer a glimpse into Jimmy's psyche as he navigates the transition into Saul. Cinematography in Better Call Saul is commonly heralded as some of the best in the business. The result is a visually striking combination of shots that evokes meaning without needing to say a single word. An entire story is displayed through the cinematography, offering anyone with a keen eye the opportunity to derive further detail. Unorthodox camera shots and angles are riddled throughout the show, offering a unique perspective which fits our main character's flamboyance. The filmmakers often employ these wide shots to flaunt the beauty of the world around them, giving them the opportunity to defy common and overused shot compositions. On that note, clever composition and framing tells a story eager for interpretation. The use of negative space, for example, indicates Saul's mood in key shots without the need for dialogue. There is a particular emphasis on lighting in Better Call Saul. The show is almost entirely lit by ambient light and practical light, only lit with external lighting on rare occasions. As a result, the show looks quite natural and gives off noir vibes in many settings. Better Call Saul uses long, single shot takes that allow the actors to interact with each other without the need of the classic shot reverse shot. By letting the scene linger, immersion levels rise as the acting itself is showcased. Saul's character is constantly struggling with his inner turmoil, which bounces between Jimmy and Saul. Slippin' Jimmy is a nickname he earned from slip and fall scams when he was younger and now represents Jimmy whenever he is involved in some form of scam. The struggles he experiences are directly related to his internal struggle with morality. Jimmy is the moral version of his morality, but he often finds himself forced to the immoral actions he undergoes to get ahead in the world. This is where Saul Goodman comes in, completing the transition where Jimmy is inevitably left behind. The duality of Jimmy is accompanied by the two stories that slowly merge over time. There is a lawyer world and the cartel world, completely separated but eventually bridged together by Jimmy's not so enthusiastic involvement. As alluded earlier, color helps depict the mood and emotions of the characters. An important aspect of the show is being able to display the mood without the need to outright state it. Jimmy is an outgoing, vibrant person, amplified by Saul's antics. His personality shines in situations where he is allowed to talk and coerce the situation into his favor. His business suits are also a character, each with their own personality, packed with color, accentuating Saul's actions. Nothing hurts the flow and immersion of a scene more than when a character monologues some exposition dump that adds nothing. Fortunately, Better Call Saul makes excellent use of the show don't tell tactic. There's very little exposition in the dialogue, and when there is, it enhances the characters and provides context for past and future actions. An example of bad composition would be a character letting another character know some information that is purely for the viewer's benefit, such as, "Hey Dave, you're the captain of the police force. You know this is a slam dunk case." This sentence simply reminds the audience of his name and position. Dave obviously knows his position as captain. It's completely useless. Good exposition, as illustrated in Better Call Saul, would be dialogue explaining a situation to a character that was unaware of something, thereby progressing that character's story and character arc. In one scene, Howard admits his guilt in the death of Jimmy's brother, giving Jimmy information that his brother may have killed himself. Good dialogue and lack of useless exposition brings a dose of realism with the natural interaction between characters. Harkening back to the first slide, we saw a similar shot that took place in the opening minutes of the show's first season. Now we see a recreation of that shot in the show's penultimate episode, the only other time we see color in the total hours worth of black and white scenes. As we come full circle, a future Saul is reflecting on the vibrant, colorful personality of his former self. He is now a shell of his past, destined to live on with only a glimpse of the path that led him to where his story ends.